Welcome back to the Frugal News Studios. Today on the show, a major announcement coming out of FLW last week. We'll talk about that. Plus, talk about with the weather getting cold, what you can do to keep your head in the game during the off season. Thank you for tuning into this new episode of Anglers Corner, brought to you by Olsen Home Theater. I'm Russell Olsen. Today on this show, I'm going to be talking about what you can do in the off season to kind of keep your head in the game. Unfortunately, especially in the north here, where it's already starting to get somewhat cold in mid-October already. A lot of people are kind of wrapping up their seasons. I know most of the BFLs here wrapped up a while ago. So as I was saying, some things you can do to keep your head in the game. But before I get to that, I want to start off with a major announcement coming out of FLW. FLW and Major League Fishing have come to an agreement. MLF's going to be purchasing FLW. I have my concerns about this because I really do not like the Major League Fishing format. I am much more into the traditional, 5-fish daily limit. With the the MLF format, basically they have a judge right in the boat. Each time you catch a scoreable fish, which in most tournaments I've seen on TV, have to be like 12 inches. I think they'd probably have to be 14 up here. I really didn't catch the MLF shows that were up here in Necedah and La Crosse this year. But it's obviously gone away from the traditional format. I actually heard about this at one of my last BFLs this year. I guess Ike and Ellie told someone that this was happening, and someone within FLW confirmed it. But they actually just announced this on Thursday that they've made an agreement. Actually, I got an email. I think all the membership of FLW probably got an email regards this. Excuse me. So they basically laid out in the email, they outlined a few details of what's going to be happening with a lot of the circuits. The first one on the list here in the email, and the biggest one I'm worried about right now, is the BFLs. It says TH Marine Bass Fishing League tournaments will continue to operate in their traditional format with 24 divisions, which makes me happy because, like I said, I'm not a fan of the MLF format. I'm much more for the traditional 5-fish each day format. There's actually some more good news though, which is making me happy. The entry fees will be reduced to $200 per boater and $100 for co-angler for qualifiers, and $300 for boater and $150 for co-angler for the super tournaments with the same payouts. So basically, for the normal one-day tournaments, they're actually reducing the cost back to $100 this year. For co-anglers, anyway, this year I can't remember if it was $125 or $150 for co-angler, and then the last tournament, the super tournament, the one that could be 2-day, was $175. So I think that's MLF's getting off to a good start, for in my opinion, anyway. For FLW and BFL fishermen. I hope they continue that way. Some other highlights of what they're going to be doing: the Cost FLW tournament series. That one's also going to continue to operate in its format, and looks like they got some reduced entry fees. See, it looks like it's going to feature 24 tournaments. Plus, they say here an enhanced championship. The biggest change that I'm seeing here is to the big tour, the FLW tour itself. The FLW tour is being replaced by the new FLW Pro Circuit, featuring 3 days of traditional 5 bass weigh-in format and then 3 days of MLF style competition with enhanced live streaming coverage plus primetime television coverage on the Sportsman's channel and the Outdoor channel. The FLW Pro Circuit will feature a 150 boat field with $100,000 payouts for the winner, $10,000 through 50th place, and $5,000 through 75th place. It will also serve as the only pathway to the no entry fee Bass Pro Tour. So that's probably the biggest change. I don't know what I think of them keeping it half and half. If anything, I'd like to see them flip-flop it if they're going to have half and half. Have the first 3 days be the MLF format, and then the last 3 days be a traditional 5-fish format. I guess one of the things that I have a concern about too, especially that Bass Pro Tour that's sponsored by, or that's sanctioned by MLF, from what I've been hearing, they have to sign basically non-compete agreements. So basically what that means is the guys cannot fish other leagues. So those guys who are fishing that Bass Pro Tour, if that's true, then they would not be able to go and fish BASS, which that has kind of caused some hard feelings between some people, in some of those bigger tours that I've been hearing about. So that's something I'm a little concerned about. I mean, this is not the UFC, MMA. This is not WWE. In our sport, we don't need guys to have to be exclusive to one tour, one promotion. There's plenty of room for everybody to fish, other tournaments. In our sport, I think the non-compete clauses, if that's true, is going to hurt our sport. I really do. I really think that they need to be able to fish any series that that they want to fish. Obviously, if they qualify for that Bass Pro Tour, obviously be able to fish it. Or if their schedule doesn't conflict, be able to fish the BASS Elite Series or the Bassmaster Opens, or I'm assuming that they'll probably be able to fish FLW tournaments because they will be part of MLF now. If anybody knows anything about what I've been talking about with these, what I've been hearing about these non-compete clauses and contracts, feel free to leave a comment below, because I'd like to get some more solid information on that. So far as the BFLs and the Costa series, it's looking like it's going to be a good thing. I would say for the bigger tours, like the FLW, well, they're going to be calling it the FLW Pro Circuit now. I'm going to say the jury is still out on that. I will have to see as time goes on what I think about that. And obviously, MLF can change the format of all of our tournaments anytime. If they go to a MLF format with the BFLs, I, at that point, would have to weigh my options. I just have to join up with a BASS club, or bite the bullet and go find those weekend series tournaments and fish them. But like I said, time will tell. We'll have to see how that all shakes out. So for the other topic today, we are kind of approaching the off season, especially here in Wisconsin, because it's starting to get cold. We're getting nights in the 40s and the 30s. So those fish are, probably deep in their late fall patterns, I would say for sure at this point. I'm not sure if we've had turnover yet. I haven't had a chance to really, check into that, but I wouldn't be, very surprised if we already have. One thing, and I've mentioned this in previous episodes on this subject, for all of us who are FLW and BASS members, we're going to get magazines. We can do our reading. We can, get our, thing you do is, kind of, so you don't have to be rushed the last minute, is start working on your tackle, get it ready, get your reels lubed up, kind of start peeling the old line off of there. I would still probably wait till a little closer to the new season to spool up line and everything. But other things you can do in the dead of winter here, go over your tackle, kind of get an idea of what kind of baits and colors of baits that you're gonna that you feel like you're gonna need for next season. Anything you feel you're low on. Now I don't think they have it finalized yet, but the Great Lakes Division of the BFL, it sounds like we're pretty much going to have about the same schedule, at least to order the tournaments next year from when I last saw it. Like I said, I don't think that's going to get finalized. They'll probably finalize it, obviously before they start, sending out the information for tournaments and opening up registration for the BFLs and Costas and things like that. But obviously that's a big thing to do to prepare. If you know what your schedule is next year, start studying the specific bodies of water. Start looking at your favorite websites. A couple of ones I personally use, not sponsored by them, but a couple of ones I personally use are Fishity and LakeLink.com. Another thing you can research is see if you can find the results of past tournaments on those bodies of water and see what they caught them on. You don't want to fish memories, but at least it's a start. Especially if you don't get, if you're like me and don't have a boat and don't really have an opportunity to pre-fish, at least the information, it's a start. Past experiences there. Again, don't be stubborn. Obviously be willing to change, but at least you've got some information, as a start. But those are some of the things that you can be thinking about during the winter. Obviously, if there's any outdoor shows that happen on an annual basis in your area. In my area, again, Wisconsin Fishing Expo. It always happens at the Dane County Expo. That's usually the first or the last weekend in February or first weekend in March. I haven't had a chance to look that up yet, but that show for me, yeah, they got a lot of good exhibitors in that. But for me personally, I usually go for the seminars. They usually get some great seminars in there. Last year they had Mark Menendez and Jonathan Van Dam, which I had opportunity to get an interview with for a previous episode. That was a lot of fun. Hopefully I'll be able to get another interview with one of the pros that they bring in again this year. I think that'd be another great segment for the show. Other than that, the only other thing I want to try to go to this year, for some reason I thought the Gurney Mills Bass Pro Shops was a little bit further away than it was, but it's actually not that bad of a drive from Madison. So what I'm going to try and do this year is I'm going to try to go to their Spring Classic. They always get pros and stuff in for that. I have a Cabela's here in Sun Prairie. I don't know if they're planning on doing anything like that, especially now that they're owned by Bass Pro Shops now. So that'll be interesting to see. But that's a couple shows I intend to go to. If I hear of any other shows or at least something within reasonable driving distance, I'm try and make it. So those are some things that you can do to get ready for your season. It's something to, like I said, keep your mind going during the winter time. It's not always easy because it's cold. You don't even want to go outside. Me personally, I don't ice fish. I just don't like the cold, and I know the ice gets thick in most places where I'm at, but I just don't like to ice fish very much. So I just don't like the cold and don't like the thought of possibly falling through the ice. I'd like to fish somewhere where you could actually launch a boat in the middle of February. But that's pretty much it for this episode. One thing I did mention, the new Frugal Muse Books is open now on Odana Road. So go check them out. Let them know you heard about them from Anglers Corner. And I hope you have if you're still fishing, I hope you have a great remainder of your season. And good luck and get ready for next year.